好，谢谢大家今天前来，我们今天可能实际上还会有其他的人加入我们陆续。我们先开始今天的字，然后今天如同大家知道的，我们会主要在讲美国现在很流行的computer science、data science 还有 double E 的 major，这仍然是我们台湾很多学生是会感兴趣做申请。尤其是美国的政策，如同大家可能听说过，我们有 STEM 相关的工作延签，所以很多人还是会希望可以去美国做深造、做工作机会的发展。那今天我们非常开心能够邀请到美国那边校方的代表，跟我们做今天几间美国的 highlight 的学校，包含是 Johns Hopkins 学校，还有 University of Virginia，还有 Stony Brook and Adelphi。我先会把现场先交给我们学校 Andrew 让这边来做介绍。Andrew, go ahead, I'll let you take the floor.
Absolutely. Well, thank you all so much for joining in today. For those of you who have not joined in previous sessions we've had in the past, my name is Andrew Yang, and I'm the Senior Global Recruitment Director. I'm going to actually quickly share my screen. Ali, would you mind just confirming if you're able to see my screen?
Yes, we can see it, but it's not in full screen. Okay, now it is. It's perfectly fine.
Oh, it's okay? All right, perfect. So for you all here in the virtual audience as well, I've been in higher education for over 17 years. I've worked in private universities, public universities, and of course, one of my favorite topics to talk about is, I would say, technology, but also what it means into the everyday environment. I meet a lot with engineering students, business students, but not only that, I meet a lot of students where the concerns or the questions may come into, well, how does the automated kind of hemisphere that we're currently living in impact my day-to-day or my particular industry, as well as a lot of computer science students who always ask these particular questions. So I'm hopefully looking to address some of those questions and hopefully do a little bit of a deep dive as well. Today, I'm going to focus on two particular, I would say, degrees that are quite prevalent, not just for students coming in from Taiwan, but of course, globally as well as the United States. One, of course, will be computer science, and the second one will be electrical engineering. So looking at this particular screen here, just kind of a brief introduction. As digital transformations as well as digital technology becomes really integrated in everyday part of our society, our life, the demand for skilled computer science specialists as well as electrical engineering professionals continue to grow. And these fields are not only driven by technological advancements and progress, but also finding solutions to really complex global challenges that makes it not just specific to one particular industry, but of course, or one particular region, but of course, transcending across many of those as well. So I'm going to talk a little bit briefly about computer science, and then we're going to kind of do a deep dive into the other remaining topics, as well as mentioned, I'm going to cover 4 particular universities, as well as the ins and outs for computer science, electrical engineering. I always love answering questions, so please feel free to type any questions you have, and we'll look to address them as well. One of the questions, of course, I hear a lot about is, well, in this current age, in the current time in our society, what are some of the benefits of a computer science degree? Is this something that I should be pursuing, etc.? And especially in today's AI-driven economy, I would actually say that computer science, a CS degree, is actually more valuable. When it comes to things like automation, it's looking to replace very repetitive tasks. However, it's also increasing the demand for individuals and specialists who can actually build, manage, as well as improve certain intelligent systems. When you're looking at particular industries that are growing within the IT hemisphere, looking at huge influx with artificial intelligence, as well as cybersecurity. So one of the things I always encourage our students to do is when you're looking at universities to apply for, really do a deep dive into the curriculum, see what kind of electives are available that you can opt in for, see if they have concentrations, if they have specializations available, and that really helps students determine which university is going to be the best fit for them. But essentially, in this current, I would say, climate, a lot of universities now embed really aspects of artificial intelligence, how to utilize AI in the current models that are, of course, being quite available to many different CS as well as non-CS professionals. But essentially, students are going to learn a little bit more about algorithms, data structures, machine learning modules, neural networks. Those are pretty prevalent as well. One of the things that many individuals always want to, and I highly recommend striving for, is to become automotive proof, so to speak. So really making sure that you're developing the skills that will help you in this next, I would say, industrial revolutionary stage of our lives, where it's going to be a lot of automation aspects. How do you become irreplaceable? So really having a strong foundation on not just the general aspects of computer science, but also knowing how to solve issues and how to utilize those aspects, as well as technology advancements. So you see a lot of demand even now as well for AI engineers, software engineers, data specialists, and data scientists, but it's also individuals with skills that know how to manage, as well as how to utilize AI, as well as grow and improve different functions of AI. Different sectors within technology. It's not just an IT sector that many times I talk with students about. You see different industries also utilizing a wide range of technology, whether it's in healthcare, finance, education, logistics, governments. Every single, I would say, industry utilizes some key aspects of technology, whether it's CS, analytics. I know you mentioned data science or data analytics, as well as AI and cybersecurity. So knowing all these different skills will be important. But an overall CS degree really helps build skills that and provide individuals as well as students tools on how to problem solve, how to think logically, having solutions to an issue, how to work on system designs, knowing all the ins and outs of mathematical as well as statistical components, and really how to adapt to new technologies. These are some of the key kind of aspects that I've also highlighted for some of the benefits of a computer science degree. Looking at this particular next slide as well, you can also see the key components of an electrical engineering degree. And this is one very similar to computer science. It's not just one particular industry, but it actually covers a wide range of career options for many students, which is why these two are generally, you can see a lot of demand because it's not just one particular industry. But you see a large growth areas across many different critical industries, such as renewable energy, smart grids, semiconductors, microchips, robotics, automation, telecommunications, electric vehicles being one of the most dominant ones for students looking to pursue electrical engineering. So a large number of companies like Tesla, Intel, NVIDIA, Qualcomm has also actively recruited various numbers of electrical engineering students as well. Then pivot over towards, so there are a few different universities that really kind of stand apart in terms of some of the options that you may have available. As I mentioned, one of the main important things, hopefully after this webinar session, that you also do your due diligence, take a look at the curriculum, take a look at the research that's also being done on campus, and that really helps align students to, well, what university is going to be the best fit for me? Do I see myself, the next 2 years there? What are the benefits of this particular university compared to another university? Whether it's going to be cost, location, etc. But the first university I want to highlight will be Stony Brook University. There's a place there's a few universities that are close to my heart. This is a university where my parents actually also met. They went there for their undergraduate degree. Then that's where they fell in love. They got married. So I always say Stony Brook University has a place close to my heart. But it is roughly about 2 hours from New York City. I'm originally from New York City myself. So one of the key aspects of Stony Brook University, obviously, really is that kind of best of both worlds. There are 2 universities I'll talk today about that are both based in New York. Stony Brook University, it's a little bit, I would say, farther away than the other university, but it's still very close when you compare it to many other locations. One thing great about the university itself is that right next to campus, there's actually a train station that will take you to Manhattan. So many students actually are able to utilize the public transportation, go to classes, and then do internships in the city and so forth. But you really have New York City at your doorstep. So looking at sometimes by the numbers, students always generally ask me, is rankings very important? And I always say, if rankings are there, of course, it's always nice to have rankings, but it's always important to see, especially what the main focus point is. Some students are looking towards entering research opportunities. So then I always tell students to focus on universities that have more research available and accessible for them. Some students are looking for universities with high outcomes of job potential. So it really kind of depends on those kind of key metrics. But one of the great aspects of Stony Brook University is that they have all of those as well. So it's a top 60 national ranked university in the United States. We have, we generally use US News and World Report rankings, but we have national rankings, we have public rankings, etc. And Stony Brook University, top 60 nationwide, which is including private as well as public universities. And then when you compare it to public universities and only public universities, ranked number 26. From an undergraduate standpoint, SBU has many, I would say, top 100 undergraduate degree programs like nursing, computer science, which we're going to talk about, psychology, economics, and of course, within our graduate degree programs, ranked number 64 for best engineering schools across all the universities in the US, and as well as a really strong alumni network, over 250,000 plus alumni all across. So it's a great university located right, I would say, in the heart of New York State, and you have a large number of benefits, especially studying at a flagship university. So as I talked about some of the general kind of, I would say, top major rankings, I want to kind of do a deep dive into some of the specific majors we're going to cover today, and you can also see those kind of broken down here. So if you're looking for a university with, I would say, top 100 rankings for whichever degree you're looking for, particularly in computer science or undergraduate engineering or even electrical engineering, you have that available here at Stony Brook University. So when you're looking at some of the really clear career outcomes, I would say the Career Center provides access to many different resources that students can utilize, whether they're going to be research opportunities, internships. There's many different webinars, lecture series, industry projects that students have access to. And students here at Stony Brook University also are able to meet with a career coach. There's a large number of support systems. There's academic advisors, there's career coaches to really help you plan your future career path. Are you taking the proactive steps towards really highlighting your resume? What are the skills that employers are looking for at your respective industry? And they really help students kind of think outside beyond what they can see and look to plan out the next 2 years, 5 years, 10 years of their overall careers. So this is a great kind of benefit towards really helping students do well in terms of securing employment. 94% of graduates secure employment, but it also helps students really start to think about, well, the next step would be post-graduation. So looking at in terms of computer science, one of the great, I would say, key points with Stony Brook University is that they are a top tier research university. So Stony Brook University, especially the computer science department, is actually one of the leading nationwide quantum computing research universities. So just this past September 2025 of last year, the governor of the state of New York announced a huge historic 300 million state investment towards establishing that research, that quantum research here on campus. So roughly in about 3 years, in 2029, that hub is expected to open, and more partnerships, more kinds of juxtaposition of research will be conducted here on campus. But besides that award from the state, the university also received a Phase 2 National Quantum Virtual Laboratory Award from the NSF, which is the Nationwide Science Foundation, so roughly over $4 million. So they work very closely in partnership with schools like MIT, for example. There's a few different joint projects that they work also together on. And that's the kind of prestige that you see here as well. Besides that, also working closely with Columbia University, Yale University, Brookhaven National Laboratory as well. So Stony Brook University really stands apart in terms of some of the key access to research that is also available for students as well. So looking at computer science for a bachelor's degree, and I'm going to cover, if it's available, I'll talk about all these particular degrees for all the schools. But what I want to highlight for you to also kind of be aware of is the different kinds of opportunities that you have, especially when you're looking to study computer science, that I always encourage, whether you're an undergraduate student or a graduate student as well. So looking at schools that really help outline what kind of research access you have available. Is that university friendly towards providing opportunities for undergraduate students or graduate students to join a research laboratory or for coursework or research projects? The answer for Stony Brook University is yes. Many faculty members do welcome undergraduate students to join in on research projects. There's various clubs and organizations that every university has. We always encourage students to get involved. That's a great way for you to also network, join and meet other individuals in your fields. That's a great opportunity for students to also meet mentors, as well as see what kind of internships other students have done in the past to see if those companies also have those internships again. So this is a great way and a great avenue for you to get connected even before you're looking to join career fairs down the road. Internships and career fairs, of course, are a great opportunity. Generally, students across the universities we talk about today will do, on average, about 2 internships, some even more than that. And this, of course, provides hands-on conceptual learning that is really embedded towards practical experiences, which universities in the US really thrive on. Making sure that students are not just learning in the classroom, but taking everything into the real and utilizing real world applications. So this is something that, of course, we always recommend. In terms of some of the questions I usually get is computer science the best fit for me? Is computer engineering going to be the best fit for me? I always tell students, kind of just depends on what you're looking for. Computer science, I'm sure, as we all here know, it's more about software programming, algorithms, the theory behind how computers are processing information. So students also learn how to build and design computer and software systems. Computer engineering, of course, it's a combination of electrical engineering and computer science, and it's focusing on how computers and digital devices are built, the hardware aspect, still utilizing key components of software, but more or less how hardwares are created. So students also take courses on circuit design, short circuits, processors, embedded systems, and so forth. So one of the things I always recommend is kind of doing a deep dive into the curriculum to see exactly which is going to be the best fit for you as an individual. But one thing unique to Stony Brook University is that they have a wide range of specializations that you can also opt in for. So within computer science, universities either might have electives, or they'll have concentration, specializations, etc. But here at Stony Brook University, students have access to 5 of those specializations. So you can do computer science, have a specialization in artificial intelligence and data science, or computer science with a specialization in game programming, or human-computer interactions, or security and privacy, or system software development. If you're not sure which specialization you're interested in, it's okay. Especially at undergraduate level, most students will generally look to commit maybe after their 2nd year. At a graduate level, generally, I would say most students look to commit after a semester because you generally will have 2 years compared to 4 years, for example. But some of the recent employers that have hired students coming out of Stony Brook University, IBM, Microsoft, Google, Meta, formerly Facebook, Amazon, some of the big heavy hitters out there all come in to recruit here at SBU. Looking at electrical engineering, you can see that there's a wide range of different subjects that, of course, are studied. And I also want to kind of list the different fields because many times the question that I get asked a lot is, as an electrical engineering student, well, what options do I have as a career? And I always tell students there are many different industries that actually hire electrical engineering students, and you can see some of them that I listed here. But essentially within electrical engineering, students are going to study everything from electronic circuits, control systems, and you can also opt in to take some electives on robotics as well as automation. Those are all available at Stony Brook University. But there are 3 different areas of study. One that students can also kind of focus on within electrical engineering. One would be general electrical engineering. Some students might opt in for telecommunications, quite popular, and the third being microelectronics as well. One of the key aspects, obviously, from an undergraduate standpoint, education in the United States, you have general core classes, and then you have your major specific classes, and sometimes you take them at the same time. So students are generally, specifically towards electrical engineering, your first, second, third year, fourth year, taking a wide range of courses, mathematics, physics, electrical computer engineering courses, some also software programming, and a wide range. You can also opt in to customize based on the elective choices you're looking for. And I've also listed some of the recent employers that have come in to recruit students and where students are currently placed, from Dell, IBM, GE Energy, Cisco, based in California, Boeing, Ford, Pacific Gas and Electric Company, as well as many, many others. So looking at it from a graduate level, one of the key aspects for Stony Brook University is that they also offer a concentration in data science and engineering. This is also something that kind of stands itself apart. Some universities might have electives that you have available, and those choices might be maybe 1 class, 2 class, maybe even 3 classes if available. But here at Stony Brook University, you can actually take a concentration, which means you have a wider range of options to opt in for. So in order for students to have that concentration, they will take 4 courses in this field, which I've also listed here, from machine learning all the way down to visualization. But within the computer science degree, students can opt in for either taking a basic project, which is kind of like a capstone project. They also have advanced projects as well as a thesis option that you have available. So it's always kind of important to see exactly, I would say, what kinds of academic structure a course will have available for students to see what will be the best fit for him or her. Looking into electrical engineering, I've also listed a sample curriculum for you to take a look at. Some of the areas of emphasis of study that students can also take classes in will be around some of the topics that I covered. Semiconductor devices, huge growth in this particular area. Quantum electronics, you see a surge of that as well. Computer engineering, communication, signal processing, those are, of course, always in demand. So looking at a curriculum really helps outline, and I always tell students, these are the courses that you're opting in for. So it's always important to know, well, what core classes does my university have? What electives do they have available? And those concentrations and specializations that I mentioned as well. So essentially, to kind of sum up, why Stony Brook University as a great choice? One, of course, location, proximity to New York. There are so many different talents that come all across the globe. There's a reason why they're coming to New York as well as New York City. The number of Fortune 500 companies that are available is a massive number. And of course, Stony Brook University have great tie-ins to many of those companies. One of the best public universities in the state of New York, top 2 rankings for national rankings, public rankings, and it really just builds a community of success, outreach, as well as alumni connections and alumni networks. And those are the things that really, I would say, stand apart in terms of when you're looking for universities to opt in for. So now as we move towards Long Island, where the university is located, we're going to enter also part of Long Island, but a little bit closer to the city, a place called Garden City, which is where Adelphi University is based. So I've actually worked on campus at Adelphi for a number of years. My brother has also worked at Adelphi University. My uncle has also taught at Adelphi University. So this is, of course, is probably the university that's closer to my heart. This is a top 200 nationally ranked university. Adelphi University, a little bit different from Stony Brook University, is that SBU is a tier 1 public research university. Adelphi University is a tier 1 private university. But here at Adelphi, you can get, I would say, the best of both worlds. Very similar to Stony Brook University, but of course, in terms of distance, closer to the city. So very much like Stony Brook University, where there's a train station right next to campus. Students who also opt in to study at Adelphi University, it's about a 6 to 8 minute walk from campus, and you'll arrive at Nassau Boulevard Station, take the Long Island Railroad, and then be in Manhattan or Queens or etc. So close proximity towards, I would say, not just, and students are able to have not just one campus, which of course is Adelphi University, but they're also able to leverage New York City because it's very close by. In terms of some of the accolades with Adelphi University, one of the things for me that's always important is the amount of support that is given towards international students. So Adelphi has consistently been ranked in terms of College of Distinction for international students. So whether it's career services support, whether it's additional tutoring, resources, student immersion, a lot of support is given towards international student success. The College of Business, huge distinctions as well in terms of niche best colleges, and of course that US News and World Report ranking. So looking at it from a campus standpoint, you can see the bottom part as well as the top right. Those are all images of campus. You can see it's a very tranquil university to be a part of. It's a gorgeous campus to also study, and one that a large number of our students really enjoy. And very much like I would say most universities in the Northeast, we have 4 seasons. So students are really able to enjoy some of the best weather all across. In terms of career preparations, some things that really, I would say, stand out about this particular university is, of course, the Global Career Accelerator, the internship support that students have. And this is why it's always important to see, well, what kinds of exposure will I have if I'm studying at a university? Here at Adelphi, there's different types, whether it's for graduate students or undergraduate students. So undergraduate students have access to what's called the Internship Preparation Seminar, available for all undergraduate students to really help prepare them for internships. And graduate students have what's called a Professional Development Seminar. But there's different types of community fellowships. Those are paid internships, as well as here at the university, they have a guaranteed internship experience, which is something that I would say helps to stand it apart. For our undergraduate students, many of them can also opt in to, instead of taking a class, they may look to either take an internship, whether in person or virtual. Some might look to really leverage what they would have learned in class into the real world. So those are some of the various different types of career accelerators and career rotation that the university provides, really giving field experience to students to really help leverage and help build their resume as well. So there's different types of, I would say, immersive experiences that students can opt in for, which can change every year per semester. Some that happens regularly. Sometimes there's new accessible internships available. So it's always important for students to work very closely with our Career Services Center to see which ones will be available and to see if their profile meets those particular requirements. One of the great aspects of Adelphi University as well is because when you look at a general profile of a student who opts in to study at Adelphi University, they're generally, especially domestic students, they're going to be from New York or New York City or New York State. So when they graduate, where do they work? Here in New York City. So we have a large range of alumni network that are also especially based here in New York City that provides opportunities for students. So this is a great way to kind of leverage as well as have those connections. And these are some of the top companies that employs Adelphi graduates as well. But besides this, the university really prides itself of bringing not just students to these industries, but bringing the industries to the students as well. So this was a recent networking workshop that was conducted on campus with Sarah Schmidt. She was a former Amazon executive. If you're familiar with Amazon Fresh, which is the food delivery option within Amazon's ecosystem, she was actually instrumental in creating that particular department. And then afterwards, she went on to start her own startup called Adro. So she actually came in through a partnership with Adelphi and met with our international students to really help them drive, I would say, changes towards understanding and comprehension of what kind of industry they're looking for. Does their profile stand out? She also did mock interviews with students, helped them rebuild their resumes, and really helped them paint the idea of, I'm a CS student and I'm looking to study X, Y, and Z. Would you hire me? And then she would kind of really help them position and see things in a different lens. So students had a great experience there. And these are the kind of examples of things that happens on campus to really provide students with a wide plethora of options. So looking at computer science at a bachelor's degree level here at Adelphi University, one of the key aspects, Adelphi, as I mentioned, is a private university. So classes are generally, in terms of class sizes, are going to be smaller. So some students really thrive. I know I did myself. When you go into a small university, you're going to have class sizes, might be 17, 18, 19, 20. So students are really able to connect with their faculty members and get a large number of support. And of course, at Adelphi University, there are different tracks within computer science that students can opt in for. Some might go into software engineering, so they'll look towards research, design, develop, as well as test operating systems. Some students might go into cybersecurity, so know how to work on inspections, recordings, privacy laws, aspects of that. Computer graphics, game programming, quite popular, applied science, and of course, foundations of computer science. So students can opt in for one of these specializations at an undergraduate degree level. Looking to a master's in computer science here at Adelphi, there are two different concentrations and specializations. One would be cybersecurity, and the other one would be software engineering. I would say the most popular one would be cybersecurity. This is one of the largest growth areas, especially in the IT sector. There are two, of course, AI and cybersecurity. With the increase of technology, you always need to have an increase of safeguards and protocols. So a large number of, I would say, career opportunities for students looking to especially have career in this particular scope. So as we talked in the earlier session of this webinar about the growth of computer science, this is a great opportunity for students to really, I would say, develop certain skill sets. There are many different skill sets within computer science. Some offer AI, some data science. At Adelphi, you have software or cybersecurity, but really honing and learning these specialized tracks really help build a certain profile, especially when you're looking towards submitting your resume or looking towards jobs for internships as well as job placements. One key note is that for Adelphi University for 2026, for students who are looking to opt in, they have scholarships up to $3,500 per semester or $7,000 per year. So that roughly equates towards an overall tuition cost of about 37,000 USD. So it becomes very cost affordable. Now going towards New York, towards the state of Maryland, we're going to enter Johns Hopkins University, which is located here in Baltimore. So some of the key aspects, of course, from a locational standpoint, close to a large number of cities. You have DC, 35 minutes away. You have Philadelphia or Philly, an hour away. New York City, of course, 2.5 hours away. And Baltimore itself has a robust economical standpoint of opportunities in healthcare, education, IT, finance, and so forth. But this, of course, is a university that needs no introductions. Within our collaboration of Shorelight, Johns Hopkins, within the Whitting School of Engineering, you have a huge resource of opportunities, and especially studying at one of the first research university in the US really helps set Johns Hopkins University apart. But this is a nationally ranked number 7 US News and World Report, and one of the best value schools in the United States. Best value generally refers to as the cost of tuition compared to what is going to be the outcome from academics, from internships, job placements, access, connections, so forth. And of course, one of the best graduate engineering school, ranked number 13. So looking at a more in-depth, of course, by the numbers, when you're looking at some program specifics, computer science ranked number 21, artificial intelligence, I mentioned that because there's different electives and specializations within CS that you can opt in for. They're ranked number 20. And of course, electrical engineering, top 20, ranked number 18. In terms of QS rankings, the entire graduate program is ranked number 24. But some of the, I would say, key aspects, especially from a career services standpoint, that is very important, is the amount of support and access that students have that are looking to graduate from Johns Hopkins University. So the Career Services Department really provides professional development, training, career services, one-on-one sessions, and there's a wide range of different opportunities. But I also want to highlight some of the key metrics. So one, of course, is the engagement with the Life Design Lab. This is where students can really look towards honing and growing their own network, looking to develop their professional goals and professional skills. The one-hop mentoring, which is a platform that connects students to build connections with different alumni at Johns Hopkins University. So think of it as very much like LinkedIn, where you can also connect with different professionals, but it's only for Hopkins students to connect with Hopkins alumni. So think of it as a VIP track, so to speak. As well as Handshake, which is a nationwide career services platform that many university uses. Same thing with Johns Hopkins University, which has more available options on things like on-campus job opportunities or internships, job placements, and so forth. There are, of course, many different companies that come in to actively recruit. Some of the key industries that comes quite frequently will be industries in healthcare and biotechnology. We also have a large number of CS students, as well as electrical engineering students looking to pursue interest there. Technology-based companies, NGOs, nonprofits, government-related education, research, and so forth. On average, there's about 400 plus companies that is actively engaged with many different departments, different majors, different disciplines, looking to recruit students from Johns Hopkins University. I also want to kind of showcase some of the different innovative research, the experiential learning that's happening also at Johns Hopkins University. And this is just a small glimpse. There are, of course, research being conducted. There's over 20 research laboratories on campus, so there's many things that are happening every single day. This is the kind of, I would say, the type of student that's looking to study at a top nationally ranked university, but also university that is well known and well established for research opportunities. This, of course, will be a fantastic fit. The next few slides, I'm going to kind of cover those program details as well to give you a little bit more of an insight. So first, I want to kind of do a spotlight on computer science. So this particular program really offers a rigorous but also flexible curriculum, and is generally geared towards helping students learn about emerging new technologies, machine learning in particular, data analytics, quite popular, as well as helping students prepare for the industries. So there's different types of sub areas of focus. Think of it as areas of emphasis. So students can utilize theoretical aspects, different real-world applicational aspects, systems, software, as well as reasoning. So students can choose from a wide range of different types of electives as well to see. And of course, Johns Hopkins University has a tremendous amount of strong partnership with many tech companies and organizations. When you're looking at it from even just startups, many students also, when they graduate, some look to work at companies and look to develop their own startup companies as well. And many of them reach back to their faculty at Johns Hopkins University to either even join their board. So a lot of the faculty members are actually on many different boards across different startups and well as other established companies. So there's a large range of access that students can also have. Looking at it from electrical engineering, I also want to highlight some of the different focus areas that this particular degree offers. But within Johns Hopkins University, it's a combination of an ECE, electrical and computer engineering. So students are able to really focus either on control networks and systems, image and signal processing, AI, data science, and so forth. But there's many different opportunities that students have access to. And of course, there is extensive amount of facilities as well as research laboratories. There are two, I would say, main teaching laboratories. the microprocessor and FPGA lab, as well as the biophonetics lab, which is state-of-the-art for students looking for hands-on access towards VHDL systems, Verilog, DHP systems, and many others. So you have a lot of hands-on access that you can also have in this particular degree. Okay. We're going to now pivot towards the last school that I'll talk about today, the University of Virginia. This, of course, another top-tier ranked university, and I'll kind of cover the different types of by the numbers. But of course, this is a very iconic public as well higher education university, and it has a large number of top-tier ranked programs, really distinguished faculty members, a large academic center, as well as a proud history of really renowned research as well. And you can see some of the accolades here. For nationally ranked universities, number 26, it's a top 5 public school ranked. Number 2, actually, for best value amongst public universities. Their computer science ranked number 35. Their engineering department overall is ranked number 39. Electrical engineering ranked number 43. But 2 things for me that will be quite important would be the graduation rate. So amongst public universities in the United States, they have the #1 graduation rate, which means students who are coming into the university are graduating from that university, not transferring out or not, let's say, leaving their studies. And of course, number 5 for best career placement amongst public schools. So this is a university that supports not just strong academics, but also strong outcomes as well. So looking at some of the key aspects of UVA's engineering department, which houses the degrees that we'll talk about, but the faculty, of course, you're looking to learn from some of the world's experts, leading experts that are still actively engaged in research. UVA is a tier 1 research university. There's many different laboratories, computing infrastructure that are available, state-of-the-art facilities that really focuses on cutting-edge research. Those research are in AI, they're in cybersecurity, they're in robotics, sustainable energy, and really helping drive technological breakthroughs as well. So looking at computer science, for example, so one of the key kind of aspects, of course, related towards AI, there's a large number of coursework that students can opt in for, whether it's going to be AI, cybersecurity, or human-computer interactions. And this computer science department recently was also awarded a $6 million annual contract to really help improve working with the federal government on research opportunities. So a large number of research funding is allocated to the university that really helps further enhance the technological collaborations that the university has with other companies, as well as the government itself. So there's a wide range of different types of classes that students can take. Some of those classes will be in data science, language processing, if they're looking towards machine learning, conceptual learning. There's AI, of course, digital image processing, machine learning and image analysis. Students can take classes in learning robotics as well. So there's different kinds of opportunities that students can have in many different facets of industries. Looking at electrical engineering, I would say one that really kind of stands out in particular would be the hands-on access that students can have. Many students also have student studios that they can also work on projects themselves, can ask faculty members to also kind of join them on projects, can also work closely with faculty member on their own projects. There's a wide range of collaborative research support that this university provides. And some of those kind of research initiatives I've also listed here, which some students are working on recently, renewable energy integration, wireless network protocols, semiconductor device. You can see that particular semiconductor industry growing exponentially, and of course, smart grid technologies. Looking at some of the career outcomes as well as OPT placements. So roughly when students are graduating from UVA, it's a 95% employment rate, so very high. In terms of OPT, so students, for all students here as well, when you're graduating from a STEM degree, science, technology, engineering, mathematics, you're able to extend your job placement or your OPT for additional 2 years. So total 3 years you're able to study. OPT stands for optional practical training, where you're able to actually work at a company. This is something you can apply for after you graduate successfully. And about 89% have the OPT success. So they secure a job in their field. Others will generally go towards a PhD, which is why you see that difference. In terms of the average salary of students that are graduating from University of Virginia, on average is about 95,000 USD, a large number significantly higher, but once again, average about 95,000. So some of the top employers that come also to campus to actively recruit, Google comes quite frequently, Microsoft, Lockheed Martin, NASA, NIH, and of course other healthcare systems come in to recruit. So that's one of the key aspects, and you'll see it kind of quite prevalent throughout the presentation, is that there's a large influx of industries that are growing, whether it's going to be in AI. You see huge growth in healthcare sectors. So one of the things I always encourage students is obviously look at the degrees that are in demand. You see, of course, a lot of technology degrees being in demand. Electrical engineering, those, of course, are some of the ones that are less, I would say, automated. A lot of it is with people working on projects hand in hand. So developing the skills that really make you invaluable, and not just for one industry, but for a wider range of industries, really helps lead towards great job success. So that's always something that I always encourage students to kind of take a look at, kind of expand their own mindset of, well, what kind of industry am I looking for? I would actually work backwards and think about, well, what industries are growing significantly? Is there an opportunity for me within my major of CS, of electrical, to apply for jobs in those positions, and what would they look like? What skills should I develop? Because it will be different than, let's say, a student applying for a CS cybersecurity job at a banking institution. That will probably be different looking at a healthcare institution, for example. So those are some of the key kind of metrics that I always encourage students to think about. That was it for my overall structure. I wanted to open it up for any questions.
Thank you, Andrew, so much for your presentation. It was a lot of great information about computer science, data science, and EE. Let me ask anybody online if have any questions for Andrew. 大家有问题针对可能这几间学校或这些科系有相关的问题都可以询问 Andrew， 因为 Andrew 是美国籍，base在美国，所以对这些科系和学校都非常的熟悉。然后他本人是也之前在 Adelphi、Stony、Brook 之前工作，所以有相关的问题的话，都欢迎大家可以留言发问。我们给大家一点点时间，如果有需要的话，也可以打字，我来做一个转达。People are probably a little shy to ask questions, but
oh, it's okay. I always tell students, I used to also teach as well, that if I'm not getting a question, it's either I was that clear, hopefully, or you're letting it sink in. If you have any other questions, obviously, always feel free to reach out to TutorABC, and they can assist you with that amazing support that they have in. But I always tell students to really start to kind of, at this particular stage, really think about not just the degree you're looking to pursue, but always try to think about the next 5 to 10 year stages. Something that I always encourage my students as well, thinking of in 5 to 10 year increments to think, okay, is this industry, where is this heading? What skills are they looking to develop? Do I myself as a professional or as a student looking to enter this field have those skills? Look and see what kind of platform the industry you're looking to enter is also using. There's many different, I would say, companies that also use similar platforms. So Tableau, for one, is one that many different institutions, whether it's healthcare or business, even education, we also use Tableau as well. So there's many different key components for you to kind of utilize. But knowing all these different platforms, programs, systems that industries are using, and then becoming proficient in those will be very important. And also think about how AI also can impact your industry, because what you should always be thinking about is the next few years as well. You always want to become irreplaceable. So developing the skills now as opposed to later on and playing catch up is something that I always recommend. Looking and see how can things be automated, how can things be streamlined, what can I also do to develop these skills will be things that I always tell my students.
I think we just have questions from the chat box, but it's asking the similar questions that you just actually say. Guowei want to ask what do you think about the AI is affecting the computer science majors, and if it affects the job markets, especially after they finish studying master programs, especially probably 2-3 years later?
Absolutely. That is I always say, if you're not thinking about this, then you are not living in the same world that we are. This is an absolute question that everyone should be thinking about in the US and Taiwan, etc. And there are going to be things that are, I would say, as I mentioned before, repetitive tasks that will be automated. I myself can go in, let's say I can use one of the AI platforms, let's just say ChatGPT. I'm not sponsoring anything, but just say, let's just say ChatGPT. I can ask and then have a prompt to create certain coding languages to create X, Y, and Z if I give it an idea, and I'll get a huge range of lines of various codes. Is everything going to be accurate? It may not. That's why you need people to spot check. There are incidences of many different ChatGPT embedded codes that were utilized that actually had errors in them. So you, of course, need to have people. We're not at a point yet where things are just so seamless. But it's also looking and seeing, okay, if one aspect of it is becoming automated, what are the other areas where you can become automative proof, which is why it's very important. So one of the things with automation is that it will replace key aspects of repetitive data entry. Instead of paying someone to type in things, you can actually have a brute force code language to make it easier. That's a fact. Basic script languages can be replaced with automation. Manual processing can be replaced with automation. But AI then creates another demand of engineers who need to help kind of support on the back end AI, because once again, we're not at that current stage. And it's funny, there was a recent interview with the CEO of Anthropic who actually mentioned she's not from a CS background. Her degree was in humanities. And she actually said, the main thing that we also look for is individuals with courses in humanities, degrees in English, literature, which is far of what you would imagine someone who's the CEO of a tech company talking about. But that's where things are at the current stage, where there's not just quote unquote technology being utilized, it's also kind of nurturing, and how do you combine what makes us human towards the advancements of technology. But you still see huge then demand towards AI engineers, cybersecurity specialists, cybersecurity analysts, because those, I would say the world is not ready to have AI take over that key aspect of cybersecurity. And you need a lot of cloud architects, data scientists, but in different fields. So that's why it's always important to take a look and see, well, not just in one industry, but how do different industries utilize technology, utilize AI, other skills that you can use so that you are, if you're looking to enter that particular industry, that you're not made redundant. Those are very important things to think about.
Yeah, I also personally want to add a different perspective to this, because that's why this is very valuable and powerful people going to the US study for computer science, because that's where these AI tools are invented. Think about another way that you go to study computer science or data science. You may be the inventor yourself, or to use AI as a tool to further develop into something else. So it's not, it's just a new perspective to think about.
Absolutely.
Eventually, it will be new market, new job market to go further.
I mean, if you think about just even like AI, this is something that people weren't thinking about. Or it was, of course, people had notions of it, but to be used this regularly has just, I would say, grown even in the last few months. And you're going to see other changes that will happen in our lifetime. So I agree with you, knowing, but also surrounding yourself in an area of constant research, constant evaluations of different technology resources, quantum computing, for example, at Stony Brook University. I'm just amazed at the different opportunities that will also have, right? Having that accessible and learning different nuances as well as different growth areas in technology is something that really holds the US apart.
Great. Do we have any other questions? Okay, we have another one from Shikai. So he's asking about the electrical material engineering, and he's graduated from the material engineering, and he's doing iPhone testing engineering. Is thinking about transfer to study SW and AI related engineering. There's a lot of questions included in these questions. So he's wondering if he could use the AI project experience to go study for master in computer science from his material engineering background.
Yeah, great question. So there will be some universities that will accept, some universities that might put conditions on your acceptance. It just kind of depends on if you're proficient in certain programming languages, which of course as a computer science graduate, they would have learned this in their bachelor's degree. You might have already taken, let's say, some classes or some experience, putting that aside. Some universities will accept your work experience, your background for admission to CS, but then they might require you to take certain foundational languages or foundational courses required of computer science specialists so that you kind of have a strong foundation, because universities always want students to be successful academically as well as your career. So the answer to that would say yes, not all universities, but there will be universities that do. What will help your application would be if you have strong work experience. Sometimes students, they graduate in a different major and they're looking to apply for another major and they don't have any kind of work experience or any kind of skill sets related to that new type of degree. That makes it harder for universities to accept because they may not have those foundation courses that they can teach. But some universities that might have like pathway options or different entry points would be able to accept. But I would recommend working on a very strong statement of purpose. Why are you looking to now transition from, like AI engineering to computer science, right? Well, why that kind of career shift? I would strongly recommend researching the different computer science courses, the faculty, the research that's being done at the university, so that the university is aware that you actually have done your research on why you want to make that shift is very important. That's what generally admissions officers will look at. Have strong letters of recommendation if you are currently working in a CS related field. Have an employer or have someone that can kind of give you a recommendation based on what they see, especially in your day-to-day in that particular industry, would be very important.
Great, thank you so much. Do we have other questions for Andrews? Otherwise, I think it's quite long, the sections for other people as well. I think we can thank you, Andrew, for the time. I just want to share, I just want to share briefly with everybody as well that is anybody can see my screen?
Yes, I can see it.
Okay, just want to share，跟大家也一起做分享一下，因为最近的话也是很多我们学校的放榜，所以也是有相关于可能比较深入的问题的话，都很欢迎来找我们做咨询。给大家看一下，我们可以扫我们的 QR code， 就是可以直接加入我们做一个预约一个免费的留学咨询。因为很多关于美国，其实针对于computer science 的科系，它的要求也好，它相对来说比较严格的，对于你的背景，像刚刚那位同学所问的，所以都可以在我们的 session 中做提问。可以感谢今天大家的时间。Thank you so much, Andrew, for your time. I know it's a special time for you as well. 所以谢谢大家。那其他的疑问的话，欢迎大家来在我们的上面来做提问。凯伟，我会你可以在 LINE 上面再一起回问我们，谢谢。Thank you, Andrew.
Bye, everyone. Have a great rest of your evening.
Thank you so much. Bye bye. 郭伟，我看一下你的问题哦。 选取 CS AI 领域的相关的课程，其实底层的可能做 foundation 的课程还是应用的话，其实会是比较像你自己的背景，还有你未来可能想要走的路线。对，还是很欢迎大家，因为这些问题可能对于你们自己的 background， 还有之后到底怎么样选美国的学校，会有很多不一样的关联性。因为像刚刚 Andrew 分享到的，有一些学校，它可能虽然排名在像 Stony Brook 在50几名，或者是 Adelphi 它是100多名，但是他们2间刚好都是在纽约州，其实他们的资源也是非常的多的。所以每个人的背景，无论是成绩也好，或者是不同的科系，我们会在咨询的时候可以一起多做深入的一些探讨。对，今天非常感谢大家来，然后那我们今天 session 都会先到这边，谢谢大家，谢谢。